Hey guys, welcome to A Touch of Film. So I've been away for so long now. I keep having these same discussions with you guys, saying that I'm away for so long, but work does get in the way of everything. But it doesn't mean I've not been collecting and doing other stuff. But yeah, I'm back today with my top 25 Blu-rays of 2024. I think it's been one of the best years for physical media, and it just keeps getting better and better. I mean, some of the releases that are coming out next year just seem to be massive. So I'm going to run through my Blu-rays for this year, which I feel are the best ones. There's so many. It was a really hard decision to pick these out, and I think you'll see why. But before I get into it, I just want to say on the 10th of January, that's next Friday, we are doing a live stream with our rundown of, not really a rundown, but just like discussing 2024 in terms of film. It's going to be the usual guys on there, Dion, Dimitri. We're just going to get a few others in there. I just want to see who is free out of the usual gang. But yeah, that's going to be next Friday around 8ish. I'll let you know nearer the time. But yeah, let's get down to this. My top 25 Blu-rays of 2024. So starting off with number 25, we have BFI's 4K release of Seven Samurai. Absolutely love this film. It's a classic. There's a lot I could really say about this film. It's just one of the greatest. Not my favourite Kurosawa film, but it is just absolutely brilliant. I picked this up from Terracotta Distribution. I think for UK releases, they are number one. They're the guys that really care for the UK audience for physical media, and they actually they're like fans selling to fans. So it's always good to support them. So yeah, that's the 4K. It just comes with so much stuff. You've got the poster in there. You've got this chunky book, which has just got like loads of essays behind the scenes, discussion about Kurosawa. It's just so jam-packed, and it's a bit of history, really. Like, it's inspired so many films, and so yeah, the Magnificent Seven and Kurosawa's, his influence on Spielberg and Coppola is just, it's phenomenal. So that is Seven Samurai. Next up we have Ling Jing's Na Zhaozhou's Streetwise. This is released by I don't know actually who's the label that released this. Is this Decalon? I think so, yeah. Decalogue. Streetwise, just an absolutely amazing, grimy Taiwanese film. Just so cool. Real nice, gangster film, and it's just so cool visually. It's stunning, and just absolutely gorgeous. I've spoken about this before, so definitely check that out. That's at number 24. And at number 23, this is one I really was excited for. I saw Umbrella announced their version of this, but it just had something missing. And this is the one from Film Movement. It is the Lee Chang-dong box set. It has Peppermint Candy, it has Oasis, Poetry, and Greenfish, which is the one that's missing from the Umbrella release. However, there is an issue with one of the restorations for Greenfish, so we are going to get a disc replacement. Not sure when, but it's in the works. It's still better than the Umbrella release, for sure. And that is the Lee Chang-dong box set, one of the best Korean directors there is. At number 22, I love this film. It is Typ Killers. This is something we spoke about in one of our streams. A great exploitation film. The 1960s, 1970s was just a heyday for Japanese cinema. and it just had some of the big superstars in it. It's just, Akira Kobayashi was like the Don at the time. He was like this handsome, cool, slick guy who did so many great gangster movies, and yeah, this is just an absolute banger. And it's released by Radiance. It's region A and B, which is so cool. I mean, it just means that probably I don't think US are going to get a release of this. So definitely, if you're in the US, pick this up. It's just an absolute amazing film. And I'm just a sucker for exploitation, which you'll probably see in this stack. There is a few in there. But yeah, Black Type Killers is one to pick up. At number 21, we have all the anime's release of Godzilla -1. This includes everything in there. Let me just see. You have the black and white version, the colour version. It's just jam-packed. You've got all the subtitles in there. You've got dubbed version if you want to watch it with your kids. If they're young. I mean, my 10-year-old loves this film. She's a big Godzilla fan, and yeah, this is just a great release. I have the Japanese release, and I just picked this up just so my daughter can watch it as well. Yeah, what a great release, and it is jam-packed. Okay, at number 20, I have a couple of versions of this. This one was sent to me. I mean, it's probably not my favourite. They're all the same for me. It is the Twilight Warriors Walled In. This is the 4K release from the US. I've got the Hong Kong release, the Digibook, and I think I've got the UK release as well. But yeah, it's a great martial arts film. It's just so much fun. It's like so old school, but it's got that modern flavour to it. I think Soi Chung is just doing great things at the moment with in cinema, and I think he's just, you know, he's having a bit of a resurgence, and after Limbo, and it's definitely one to check out if you haven't. It's just so good and so much fun, and that is Walled In. Okay. At number 19, we have... People are going to be raging with me. Why isn't this higher? But it's just me. It's the Short Scope 3. I just think there was better releases than this this year. But it is such a good release. As soon as I picked it up, my daughter wanted to watch the One Armed Swordsman trilogy. And she absolutely loves that. She loves Bastard Swordsman. It's packed full of great titles in here. I think the Short Scopes are great releases for those that are new to martial arts films, and it's really good to... And also for those that are fans already. I mean, there's the Shout Factory doing their releases. Everyone's releasing Shaw Brothers films at the moment. 88 Films, Arrow. It's going through that resurgence, and I think it's almost seems like it's not even niche anymore to be releasing Hong Kong kung fu films, because I think 88 Films, Eureka have just gone into just doing martial arts films, and I think they're not releasing as many of the great Japanese films, contemporary Japanese films, as they used to, which is a bit of a shame. I think, you know, for someone like myself, it's probably, as much as I love Hong Kong films, I feel like I would like to see some more modern Japanese cinema coming out from UK labels. There's only one label that's really smashing it. But yeah, that is a great release. This is the Short Scope Volume 3. At number 18 is from Plain Archive. It's the 4K release of Our Little Sister by Koreeda. Just such a great re-release in 4K. I think it was an AI restoration, which is just a bit of an upscale with a bit of cleaning, which is done by AI. For someone who is not really that fussed about the quality, as long as it's not like crap. Yeah, this is a really good release from Plain Archive. I do love that they're giving Kurita that extra love, which he deserves. He's like one of my favourite directors, and yeah, this is one of his best films in my opinion, and that is Our Little Sister. Next up at 17 we have from Third Window Films, we have Shadow of Fire. This is by the great Shinya Tsukamoto. I think he's like one of the greatest Japanese directors. He is probably one of the most important for contemporary Japanese cinema. He brought in the resurgence of Japanese cinema. It went through a bit of a slump, and after Tetsuo, I think he just raised the game. And he's really my entry point into live action Japanese cinema. With Tetsuo was the one that really captivated me into Japanese cinema again, and I think he's just the Don, and this is like his latest film. I think it's just what Godzilla shows in sense of like after the Second World War Japan. I think this shows it in more realism, and it's all shown through the eyes of a young child, and it's really awful. Like, it's dark, it's full of pain, but in some ways it's full of hope as well. And yeah, such a absolute banger, and that is Shadow of Fire. Next up we have, I absolutely love this. We have Old Well. This is released by Diskino. This won loads of awards. It stars Zhang Yimou as a farmer, a villager who is. The film is really about this village trying to get its own well, and every time they've built a well, there's been some sort of disaster which has led to people dying. You see other villagers fighting over wells, and it's just absolutely, it's such an interesting film. It captivated me throughout the whole film, and I think Zhang Yimou is just phenomenal in it. I mean, I don't think of him as an actor, and I always think of him as a director. And I think this is just so good. He's just phenomenal in it, and that is Old Well by Diskino at number 16. Next up at number 15 we have a release by Umbrella. It is The Chaser. This is just, what more can I really say? Nang Hongjin is, I think he's released 3 films, and they're 3 absolute bangers. Like, he's not released a rubbish film, a film that's average. All his films are just absolute bangers, and this is just jam-packed with great stuff in there. He's got like a 48-page book, like so much in there. I would have loved to have seen a 4K release of this, but doesn't matter. The Chaser was just so good. The previous release is completely out of print, so it's great to see this get a Blu-ray release. At number 14 we have, I love this film, Sushi River, a really great Chinese film by Bluray. I have the Taiwanese release of this, but I just wanted something with a few more extras on there. You've got some like an interview with Tony Raines on there. You've got a documentary. You just got so much amazing stuff on there, and it's just jam-packed with really cool bits. And it's just a stunning film about identity, and it's just visually beautiful. It's so good. And that is Sushi River at number 14. At number 13 we have Plastic and California, both directed by Daisuke Miyazaki. This I absolutely love Plastic. I think Plastic is just a great like coming of age film, and it just shows love and passion for music and how it brings people together. And I just love that intro scene in it. It's just so good when she meets. It's about this couple that brought together by music, and how she's just listening to the song and he's playing it at the same time. I think it's so cool, and I think Carney are just doing a great releases in the US. Just awesome release. At number 12, we have the 4K release of Pulse. Kiyoshi Kurosawa's like absolute tech horror, really cool film. It's an absolute classic. It's got some really dark scenes in it. I didn't even know that they made a remake of this film, which I saw on TV the other day, and it was shocking. This is just full of great special features and extras. You've got a 150-page book in here. You've got behind the scenes. You've got just so much in here. You've got interviews with Kurosawa. You've got like a making of featurette. It's just so good. It's the perfect release of Pulse, and I think it's limited to 2,000. If it's still available, I highly recommend it. It's just really good, and that is the 4K Blu-ray of Pulse. Next up at number 11, we have something that I unboxed not long ago. It is a Better Tomorrow 4K release. This is so good. I mean, I've spoken about A Better Tomorrow so many times, but this, in terms of the quality of the restoration, it's good. I mean, I know the iTunes one is a tad better, but that's for some reason that's been pulled off iTunes. But this is the best one you can get right now. Discino did the restoration themselves, and I think it's pretty good. It's very good, I should say. Check out my unboxing for that, which I did. It's really worth picking up if you can find it. Next up, we have at number 10, Taiwanese release by Delta Mac. It is Old Fox. I love this coming of age film. Just this young boy who really, he's raised by his single father. His single father wants to build a restaurant, and he's trying to get that funding. And he befriends this local wealthy guy who's just so shrewd and just doesn't care about anyone else. But the friendship that they have is just, it sort of molds this young boy in his future. And I think Old Fox is just such a great movie. I just love it so much. And that is Old Fox. At number 9, I've shown this before in a Blu-ray update. It is Yoko. Just a very cool film. A young woman who lives a life of isolation. Her father passes away, and she's not left the house for so long, and she has to go on this road trip to the other side of Japan. And for someone who's not left the house, it's quite daunting. And on the way, she meets loads of people. It's sort of like a really good road movie, which is just is so refreshing. I absolutely love Yoko. It's the Japanese release of it. Yeah, it needs a UK release, I think. But yeah, it's really good. Next up at number 8, we have from Carney. It is Beijing Watermelon. Yeah, I'm just a big Kobayashi fan. I think Obayashi fan. Nobuhiko Obayashi, he's just one of the greatest Japanese directors, and this release is just It's just so good. It's packed full of interviews, trailers, booklet in there, and yeah, I think the only label that's been giving love to Obayashi has been Third Window Films, and it's just nice to see another release from another label. But I do think I'm happy with more box sets from him, because he's just got such a massive filmography, and yeah, there's just so many greats that he's done, and I just want to see more of them, and that is Beijing Watermelon. Next up, another Third Window banger here. It is Your Lovely Smile. This is just such a great film. I absolutely love this film. Lim Kar-wai's Your Lovely Smile. It stars Hitomi Hirobumi. I think this is just Hirobumi Watanabe. I think it's just such a great film about film distribution, and I think what people don't realise is how depressing film distribution really is. It's such a hard work. I mean, at London Film Festival, I was speaking to my close friend Dion, who runs a cinema, and he was saying films is so hard to distribute films because it costs so much money. It's easier to release it straight onto physical media, but then the rights and everything is just such a headache, and the money involved is the reason why the UK is suffering in terms of Asian releases. Like with great Japanese cinema, we don't get a chance to see a lot of it. But thanks to labels like Third Window Films, we do get to see a lot more than we would usually. And I think this is just such a great film about distribution. I love films about filmmaking, but this is the first time I've seen something about like distributing a film, and I think it's just so good. And he's Hirobumi is one of my favourite directors, and I think this is him playing himself in a film, which he didn't direct, is just still so good, and that is Your Lovely Smile. At number 6, another film I've unboxed, it is A Moment of Romance 4K. I love the restoration on this. I think Diskino are releasing more Golden Harvest classics, and this is just... Is this Golden Harvest? I think it might be, but yeah, it's my favourite Benny Chan film, and it's just oozes with retroness, and it's my favourite Andy Lau film as well. That is Moment of Romance, the Diskino 4K. At number 5, we have Crazy Family. This is from the directors, the directors company. I think this is just so good. These director company releases, next year's ones already. The announcement has one of my favourite films of all time, Mermaid Legend, and I think they're just such a great collection of great cinema, and directors getting their teeth into film in their earliest films. Like it's got Kurosawa's Bumpkin Soup, and I just think that you're seeing a different part of one of our favourite directors' careers, and this is just such a good release. And to see Sogo Ishii's Crazy Family is just so good. He is such a great director, and we're going to see more of his films next year on physical media, but this is just, it's one to own. If you don't own this, you are bonkers. You're crazy to not have Crazy Family. Yeah, cool. So next up at number 4, we have another 4K restoration. This is a big upgrade for me from DVD. I have the DVD of this. But when I saw a 4K release of this is just like one of my favourites from Takeshi Miike. It is Fudo. Just so good. It's one of his best films, and it's like a proper Miike film. It's got violence. It's got gangsters. It's just got such crazy scenes in there, and it's just packed full of interviews, audio commentary by Miike. It's got an English dub in there, which I didn't even know existed, which would be interesting to see. But yeah, Media Blaster, thank you so much for releasing that. That is just amazing release. Okay, at number 3 we have River, another one by Third Window. I think this was just one of the greatest contemporary Japanese films ever made. Yamaguchi, this subjects that he does it on time are just absolutely like so unique and refreshing. Like Beyond an Infinite 2 minutes was just a mind-blowing film. It was perfect, and I didn't think he could do it again, but River is even better. I mean, I'm just looking forward to what he does next. He's just amazing, and I think Third Window to release this is a region 3 Blu-ray. It's just so good. It is really, really good. It's got a 1 hour making of video in there as well, and an interview with Yamaguchi. It's such a great release. I highly recommend it, and that is River by Third Window. At number 2 we have a film I've been begging labels to release. It's an oldie but a goldie. It is Sex and Fury. I want to see more Reiko Ike films. I think she is my favourite actress from that era. This film is just so good. It's better than Lady Snowblood, and I think this is just like, everyone talks about Meiko Kaji, but no one talks about Reiko Ike, and I think she is just the Don. She is just like the greatest Japanese female actress from that era. She was beautiful. She was like strong. She was just awesome, and this is just one of the greatest exploitation films from that era, and it's just so good. I've spoken about this film on the streams before. It's really, really good, and that is my number 2, Sex and Fury. So I couldn't think of. So for my number 1, there was 3 titles which I just couldn't decide on. For the first time ever, I've had to put a joint 3 because these 3 titles were just, I couldn't think which one was better. All 3 titles were just so good. They were perfection. They were completely flawless. And just trying to think, which film do I love more? They're just all 3 so good films. So the first one of my joint first films, Blu-ray releases of the year, is Vital by Shinya Tsukamoto, starring Tadanobu Asano as this trainee doctor who's lost his memory, and he is like dissecting a human, and he sort of has a relationship with the person that he's dissecting. It's an absolutely phenomenal film. It's one of my favourite Shinya Tsukamoto films. He's just so good in it. Really subtle performance, but it's just perfect. And Hiroshi Takagi is great in it as well. And Ikumi, I just feel like this is just played by Kiki. It's just such a great film. It's got commentary by Tom Mess, a making of, interviews with Tsukamoto. It's got a Jasper Sharp video essay, and it's just absolutely perfect. I really think this is just one of the greatest Blu-ray releases to ever come out in the UK. It's just so good. And the thing was, I was so shocked that this got released because it was owned by Titan Extreme, and we all thought these Titan Extreme releases were just not going to get UK releases. But when this got announced, I thought that is just big news, and it's just one really worth picking up. Next up, we have by US release. Oh, I don't really know the label very well. I've never. Arbalos. It is. Yeah. Oh, duo. Two duo. This wonderful. Nobuhiro Suwa. It's this wonderful film about a breakup. It stars like Eri Yu, Hidetoshi Nishijima as this couple on just breaking up, and we're just watching the collapse of a relationship. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is a brand new restoration, which was approved by Suwa himself. This got released. I remember it got like up for pre-order in August, and it just took ages to come. I think it got released in November. I'm not too sure, but just such a great release. And yeah, I've never bought from this label before, and when I saw this got announced, I thought, oh, this is just a banger. And yeah, really happy to have two duo on here. It's just such a stunning release. And if you are a fan of Japanese cinema, definitely pick this up. Very minimal, not fancy, but yeah, just a great release. And this brings us on to my last and final title, which is one of my joint first Blu-ray releases at number 1 for the year. This is one of my favourite films of all time. I just think it's just perfect. It's a perfect film and a perfect release. And Third Window, just this director company series is just, I can't stress enough how great it is. And this film itself is just wonderful. It is Shinji Somai's Love Hotel. I think it's just such a great film. I really don't know how to describe this film. I saw someone describe it as if Gaspar Noé released In the Mood for Love, which is probably, I don't know, I can see why someone would describe it as that, but it's not doing justice for this film because it is so good. It's visually gorgeous. It's just such a great story. The fact that it's written by Takashi Ishii, who directed Evil Dead Trap and Gonin, I just think, and he wrote Evil Dead Trap and he directed Gonin, and I just think this film is just, I just love the love for Shinji Somai at the moment. I think he's someone that is just such a great director, and Love Hotel is just an absolute masterpiece. It's a 5-star masterpiece. I don't think you could even criticise this film at any level. It's just super sexy. It's just stunning, and I'm just so happy to have this in my collection. It's one of my favourite Blu-rays in my collection right now, and that is Love Hotel. So yeah, guys, that's my top 25 Blu-rays. Let me know if you picked any of these up. If there's any that you didn't know got released, or is there anything that you think I should have put in there, let me know in the comments below. I really love these discussions about film. I'm sorry I've not been very active, but I've got another video up of my top 25 films of 2024. I'm hoping to put that out this week. We've got our live stream on Friday the 10th of January, so please stay tuned for that. and I will see you in the next video, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, take it easy.